this log report. It's the 29th of October 2021. Ask me what time the damn thing is. I'm still working on it. Okay, it's 10:43 in the evening for a Friday night. It's been interesting trying to watch a show made for kids, and yet it's supposed to be coming up with a kid's point of view of what Star Trek is supposed to be. Okay. That's what people and the fans have been talking about for a hell of a long while, and I still can't figure them out anyway. The older I got and the more I was separated from the fandoms throughout the years, I figured we mutated and grown into different aspects of it that to this day I still can't get a hold of the mindset left and right. I feel like I'm Rip Van Winkle. At the birth of Star Trek when it came out in 1966. Hell, I was only a few months, several months older than that. Gene Roddenberry comes out with an idea that scares the hell out of people left and right. He comes out with a glorified galactic utopia. But not so much. And with this utopia, there'll be some challenges left and right. Man's exploring the galaxy. He's exploring his neighborhoods. And he's running into problems with his neighbors left and right. But he's also trying to find ways on how to solve the situations. How a particular band of planets, called the Federation of Planets, sent out a starfleet of its representatives are supposed to be accepting of everybody, for the most part. The problem is I couldn't even get into it much. Not because of the accepting of the stuff. It's because from growing up, and I'm watching the first reruns of this thing, I'm still having problems concerning about the lives that I'm still living in on planet Earth. I mean, I can think about the universe, I can think about how to go out there and see the universe. Yeah, great big starships that go travel beyond the speed of light. Well, the problem is we're still bringing our own luggage with us. And we're already developing our own luggage anyway, growing up as kids. I mean, in order to have that kind of a utopia situation being thrusted upon a kid during that time, come on, give me a break. You had to have some kind of knowledge and basis of that utopia being presented to the kid in a way so we can understand it and even grasp it and digest it. But when reality is giving him other things than something digestible, as in neighborhood kids being bullies, and you have to learn how to stand up against those bullies, or just learn how to take it and walk away or something. Or try to find somebody to do your own battles with. And sometimes when I was growing up as a kid, I was able to pick the fight. Actually, not to pick the fights, but go against the attackers left and right. As they're trying to import their values upon me, of becoming a bully myself, I couldn't see that it could be that way. There was no way now it was going to be that way. There was no way I was going to be that way. I had too many friends with two different relations with different cultural aspects. Different skin color. Different attitudes, different thought patterns. As a young boy, as a young kid looking at a girl who's Latina, I got she was beautiful. I had a mad crush on her like I would not understand. And then to be taken away from that world. And not to be meeting up with her ever again. But then subject to other things that the cruel world can actually unleash upon you. And sometimes the people of your own skin color can be your own worst nightmares. And some of them were actually different skin colors, or actually your best friends, and become family members. Yeah, I didn't have to hate anybody for their own major malfunctions. I just had to understand why they were going crazy as it is. And yes, I had been a Trekkie. I had been a Star Trek fan. Drove my family crazy considering about books every time Christmas and Wednesdays came home. Or every time we went shopping, we go to the stores. Bookshop, just. This is a guy who can't even get his damn skill grades up to par. This is the asshole who can't even get his college career going in his early 20s and gets his ass kicked out and has to work full time. Here I am finding myself back in college again at age 55, 6 freaking years of the damn thing. 2 classes at a time. Learning more stuff that I learned in any other year, having more context and perspective, and try to communicate this stuff over to the people left and right. You know, try to talk to them in a language that maybe they can understand. Maybe something slow. Maybe something they could grasp that maybe they could chew on. But also still be reminded, this is for me, damn it. This is for me. This is for me. If my memory starts going, I need something that tells me, tell me something. I need context and I need perspective to tell me that something matters a damn thing to me, so I have to do this kind of stuff for myself. Damn COVID's been kicking our ass left and right. And sometimes I feel like I'm not even allowed to say the damn word without people going, oh my God, he's saying the word. Well, bite me. People screaming and yelling our heads off. They don't want to deal with it. They want to deny it. Throw crucifixes at the tank shed, think it's going to work. Oh, no. Let's have book burning, shall we? Let's have knowledge burning. Let's do the shit that they did back in the 30s and 40s back in Germany. Let's do bonfires of the idiots. Let's burn stuff up and think we know better than that. My God. Oh. For me even to say such blasphemous things. I'm the guy that still likes literature. I'm the guy that still likes written language, despite the fact that may or may not have the right language to say to people left and right. The language I'm not talking about is speech language. I'm talking about the message in it. Whether or not it was supposed to be or not to be. Is that the question? Was it ever the question? Was it someone else's question and he forgot to put on the works cited? So yeah, I gotta start thinking about crap like that. While I'm picking up the crap off my damn arms in the first place, toughen skin, go figure. But it pisses me off that I have to tiptoe and tap dance around crap like this. Including how to tap dance around the COVID-19, and then I got fandom stuff over here. And then if I happen to mention about the P word, I hear Pandora's going crazy again. She's screaming and yelling her head off. Please don't open up that box, John. Please, whatever you do, don't open up that box. You don't know what's coming out of it. Actually, you do know what's coming out of it. Don't open it. Pandora, shut up. No. I'm about to do that anyway. Besides, C's already out there already. So, that's already a connection, and no wonder the box is rattling its head off. So it's things I have to avoid like crazy. I could talk about science fiction. I could talk about space. I could talk about education. I could talk about how my day went at school, online. I could talk about a lot of crap. But the things that usually matter the most to me at this point over here, people take a snooze on, I swear to God. Because some of these things are still affecting me and also other people left and right. And we're not talking about genres or fandoms, or we're not talking about pissing off the immortals upstairs. No, I'm dealing with the damn demons I've got right now inside my head as it is. The four horsemen are still having the party upstairs, 24/7. Hard to get these bastards out of here. I do videos left and right trying to talk these guys out, and they don't want to be bothered to get the hell out. So what do I have to do? Medication? Medicate myself to a point where I don't even like doing it? And no wonder I got a problem with the medical establishment at this point. Shit. So yeah, consider this being a blathering at the mouth thing. He's not making sense. Well, you're right, I'm not making sense to a lot of people because they haven't been through this shit before. But I'm going through the shit right now as it is. And I don't like it. I don't like being put in this kind of situation in the first place. It's not nice. But I have to go through this stuff. Why? Because I have to go through this stuff. Talking about fandoms and talking about how things are supposed to be perceived by younger children. The shows and movies and films are. Now we got different formats to educate and brainwash our kids into different fandoms left and right. Or fandom followers. We have our own cults that we're creating left and right out of our own damn creations. Surprised we haven't had any more Frankensteins or Mr. Hydes screaming and yelling our heads off. Because their own version of Dr. Jekyll's is too damn afraid to put the genie back in the damn bottle. Oh, I'm sorry, the genie's bottle was destroyed, wasn't it? Hyde was having too much fun with the casing. On the inside. Then, oops, here comes Frankenstein's creation. He's trying to be as delicate as possible, looks at the bottle, squeezes it a little bit, shatters right there. He slumbers off. Meanwhile, Hyde's screaming and yelling his head off, saying, "Free!" The madness we had to deal with. I know the four horsemen I talked about. Oh yeah, let's see, what about those shows? PTSD is one of those. When you have lifelong PTSD and everyone keeps telling you to get over it, you can't get over it. Because the damn thing adds on to more and more and more and more and more. But we're supposed to get over it because we're supposed to. Who the hell says? Where the fuck was this coming from in the first place? Oh, you can subject a guy to death at this point over here, to a lot of physical torture at this point over here just to preserve his life, and maybe for his mental state, beat the shit out of him. That'll work. This is supposed to help toughen him up. You experience death. Now you get to experience pain and everything else. Fine. You get to experience some disastrous insults. Fine. You get to have your family taken away from you left and right. Not fine. Years later, last family member dies that I actually gave a shit about. I die on the inside. Now, I'm not fine. I'm not fine. I have found that there are straws that break backs. Even just one little frickin' pin in the haystack can cause everything else to go hell in a handbasket. That happened on my watch. And there was nothing I could do about it. So yeah, all this stuff I talk about, different contexts, perspectives, and all this other stuff out there, they're probably saying, well, he's just a confused young man. No, I'm just a guy who's went through too damn shit. Through too much shit right now as it is. You may think one way or another, but me, you haven't walked my damn shoes, so I'm out. And I'm struggling. And it's not that easy. But I'm supposed to make it easy. I'm supposed to smile like crazy, get people left and right, and no wonder on the inside I want to either collapse or tear someone else's ass apart for the fun of it. But I'm supposed to smile and take it all in because this is how it's supposed to be these days. I've seen how people go explosive, how they go nuclear, how they go quantum at that point. They can't stand it. They can't stand this or that. Therefore, their voice, their matters, everything about them has to be number one, and everything else takes a back seat. Yeah, I've seen it happen. Too many damn times on my shift. People say, I can't understand what the hell you're talking about. Well, because you haven't been in my shoes. You haven't been in my shoes to understand shit. So even if I started trying to talk to you in one format, you'd still be a blithering idiot afterwards because you don't have the context or perspective. Try to talk to people about stuff like this. It's no wonder that I can't communicate effectively to people anymore. Because after I review my own explosions in the back of my head, and I'm saying how my thoughts are trying to turn into logical statements, I found out that I'm scaring the living crap out of people left and right. They don't understand me. They don't want to understand me. So other geniuses usually have issues. It takes another genius level trying to figure them shit out, or at least a guy with a syringe. Oh, just a little pinprick. Look, get your 500 cc's of Thorazine stuck right in your ass. How about that? We'll put your ass out. Fine, well, what about the rest of the body? That requires an IV central line drip right there. Terrific. That's all I need. Add more to the stress and strain like I've already got right now. Thank you very much. Oh, you're quite welcome. So as I'm trying to deal and live and survive these days, going through school and going through literature classes, either I'm becoming a more and more blithering idiot at this point over here as I grow older, or else I've outgrown humanity somehow. And that scares me. Being around humanity for such a long time, in too many different ways, it's kind of hard to be separated from them. And it's bad enough I'm separated from family members left and right that I give a shit about. That hurts a great deal for me not to talk about them, or me being around them as much. Even talking about topics that relate to them hurts like hell. It puts me through a fucking roller coaster. Every fucking time. I have to hold it in. I have to hold it in. And then kind of choke it down a little bit. Eventually find another place just to let go. And then I'm just wasted piece of flesh there. Still want her to stay home more often. With the triggers I keep encountering even here, watching things on television or hearing about them or seeing conversations from other people have been having, seeing how they're relating. The most innocuous things set me off a great deal. And it takes a toll. It takes a toll. I can't even talk to people anymore. I can't even talk to people about who I've associated with for a while, concerning about topics I've talked with them earlier. Just to be on a sunny side, just to be on a skip the moment, my darlings thing. No, I can't be that way. So I wonder if I'm feeling too damn old, worn out. I can't even relate to my dog sometimes. Started reading Dante's Divine Comedy because of the class I've got today. The professor wants us to write something about a topic that either deals with Euclides' The Bacchae or Dante's Divine Comedy. Just a few short canon pieces, that's about it. Because it's complicated as hell. Yes, it is. I listen to the audio recordings. I listen to everyone else's viewpoints of what they're thinking about it. Just to get an idea of what the hell I'm dealing with. I need about 8 weeks worth of work on the damn thing to really get into it. You know, open up and shoot up my mouth saying, oh yeah, I'm just going to put part of that with Bacchae Euclides. And it's like, nobody's done that before. I'm looking at him saying, well, you're looking at Mr. Nobody. And then I had to start listening to the stories. I had to listen to people's podcasts about it. And to understand where the stories are coming from. I found out that it's more complicated than usual. But that's okay, because there are certain elements of the damn thing kind of reminds me too much of the other stories anyway. And since I felt like I've already written up too much of those stories, I might as well start on something else. But to marry the two? Shit. My question is, what particular frickin' Star Trek fan or what particular frickin' sci-fi nut job is going to be able to do shit like this in the first place? I mean, come on. Be a literal nut. Lives in the world of literature. Seen reality in its own eyes. Experienced it. And yet tries to find comparison, contrast left and right. Tries to find context and perspectives left and right. What am I supposed to do? Travel the world for such a guy like this? I'll turn the mirror over and I'll see my own face in this world. Because I think I'm the only fooling idiot to ever do this shit in the first place. And I've got to be a fooling idiot. I mean, I'm the only schmuck doing this damn crap in the first place. What the hell am I getting myself into? To tell you the truth, honest to God, I don't know. I seriously have no clue. At this point, since I'm already burning daylight anyway and burning midnight, it seems like I gotta be crashing again because the body's telling me, go back to bed. Oh no, I'm becoming a blithering idiot over here. I like being a blithering idiot. I like educating the people I'm boring the living crap out of them at this point. And other people are like taking the crosses right now and grabbing their stakes, pitchforks, torches. They're saying, get that Frankenstein's creature now. Start doing Mel Brooks' Young Frankenstein thing. Meanwhile, the little kids in the starship, advised by a hologram of Captain Catherine Janeway, is looking at this lunatic over here and wondering, what the hell is he? Madman. Madman. Too much pop culture. Too much life experiences. Too much studying and analyzing this and that. It's not the numbers, it's the message. It's the meanings. It's the context and it's the perspective. And no wonder I'm getting old and gray these days. I'm becoming bound. How am I expecting to talk to the youth? decides to do fireworks at this minute, this late at night. They're sucking my